Bunnies, it's your Queen Bee. So I am going to be going over my top 5 favorite horror movies that I have currently in my house. Now, obviously, these aren't going to be like out of a series. These are just like one-shots that I know of. I don't think there's sequels to any of these. But these are just horror movies that I absolutely love. And I just think that they are like the best horror movies. Now, obviously, I do have other horror movies I love. I have like a whole shelf full of horror movies. But these ones, I just feel are like ones that don't get recognized a lot. You mostly hear about Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. That's actually my favorite one, is Nightmare on Elm Street. But I'm not going over series, obviously, because there's just so many to cover. And I love all of them, except for the second one of Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, that's just not the best one. Honestly, you could watch the whole series and be fine without watching that one, in my opinion. But, yeah. So these are just the best horror movies I love. Obviously, my own opinions. But tell me down in the comments below, have you guys, like, watched any of these? So I don't think I have, like, a specific order that I put these in. But out of all of these were my favorite. So I think the first one I will tell you guys about. Okay. So out of these, my top 1 pick would be Final Girls. And I love this movie because it is like a Friday the 13th, like, kind of parody movie. I think this is so cool. Me and my mom watched this. It's actually really sad. Like, you know, because the mom of the main girl dies, and then, she was actually a movie star, and she played in, like, this kind of Friday the 13th type of movie, and, you know, something happens in the theater, and they all get sucked into the movie, and it's, like, really cool. It leaves off perfectly where a sequel would go, but I don't know if they have a sequel, obviously, but this is just a really good movie. I honestly love this movie so much, and I think my mom really liked it too. My mom's not really into horror movies, and it's not really a horror movie. It's like a comedy. It's like kind of a parody, but not really. It's like a really good, like, starter movie if you're trying to get into, like, more of the scary type of movies. It's not really that scary, but it's really fascinating. It's, like, very suspenseful and everything. I just liked it. So, very good, honestly. So, I think that was my first top pick. And I think that was, like, more of the recent one I got. The second one, I don't know. It's so hard to, like, figure this out. I would have to say my second favorite horror movie was Varsity Blood. And I just thought this was, again, really cool. It did remind me of something, but I can't remember what. It's kind of like Scream, but not really. It's, like, set in a school, so, like, yeah. And I don't know. It's, like, cool. It's different, but not really. Like, I don't know. It's just, like, it's not like a normal horror movie. It's actually, like, kind of, like, you have to think about it for a little bit, which I really appreciate. I don't like whenever they follow the same formula. I do like Scream because they kind of poke fun at that, and, I mean, it's just cool. So, yeah, this one is also a good one. It's, like, my second pick. Again, I don't know if this has a sequel, but it was really good. I mean, like, and I would include Happy Death Day because it's kind of the same as this, but it does have a sequel, and I do think that both of those movies were very good. Especially, like, the second one, where they find out, like, what caused the actions of the first one. Like, that was really cool how they tied it in. But if you like that movie, I think you'd like this one. I don't know. I like how, I don't know. Something about, like, horror movies that are based off of, like, or loosely based off of something else is, like, very interesting to me. And honestly, like, the cover, if you've ever seen, I think it was, like, Pandemonium, the movie, like, where the cheerleaders get, like, you know, it's a whole thing. They look like a shish kebab. My dark humor, I thought was funny. But, yeah. I guess I should have put a disclaimer. If you're, like, under the age of, if you're, like, not in high school, don't watch this. If you get scared very easily, don't watch this. I guess I should have said that in the beginning. But yeah, horror movies, disclaimer, sorry. Try not to spoil endings of any of these because I do want you guys to watch them. I think they're very good. But yeah, again, watch at your own risk. Most of these are R-rated, I think. I haven't even been checking. So yeah, disclaimer. But I think the third one, I have 2 in front of me and I'm, like, trying to pick. Okay. So, my number 3, top number 3, funny story to this. This is called Killer Clowns from Outer Space. and it doesn't have the scenes like on the back like what the other ones do. I watched this when I was like, I think 5. I remember flipping through the channels on my old TV in my old house, and I remember the scene, and it looked like a kid's movie because there is a scene where the couple is at the hill, and there's like and my memory's spotty, but there's a well or something like that, and no, it's like a puppet thing. Something to do with puppets, and I just remember seeing the puppets, and I was like, oh, this is a kid's thing. I thought it was Mr. Rogers for some reason. Like, I thought it was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Was not. So they're doing the puppets, and then the clown emerges, and starts shooting them with, like, candy cane, or not candy cane, cotton candy stuff. So, the whole thing is, these clowns from outer space, killer clowns from outer space, come down to Earth, and they just turn people into cotton candy. And my little brain, my little kid brain, was watching this, and my grandma was like sleeping in another lady boy because we were in the living room, and she was babysitting. Not doing the best job, but my grandma was great, so I really don't care. But yeah, I got away with so much stuff. I was watching this movie, and they got to the part where they're like at the like the base, which is like this like carnival looking thing. I'm trying to find the picture. It doesn't really have like a picture on there I can show you, but they're like out in the woods. They find this thing, and it's like a big top like for circuses, and yeah. So they turn the people into cotton candy, and obviously whenever cotton candy gets wet, it looks red. And me thinking that was like blood and all that kind of stuff, I just associated cotton candy with that movie. So I, from being 6 years old to I think it was like sophomore or junior year, hadn't ate cotton candy the entire time because for some reason I still associated with it like dead people and like, the blood and everything. Like I thought I was eating people. Like it literally scared me to death. Still not really a big fan of like circuses. I've been to like 2 of them, and yeah, I mean they're fun, but if you watch this movie and then you go, not that fun. But yeah, anyways, I have seen this movie like a couple times. Obviously it's like scary looking, but it doesn't really do it any justice because it's super lame. It's so cheesy, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be scary, but it's not scary. It's one of those movies. Yeah, so there's not much else I can say. It's just a stupid little movie that scared me as a kid. But still, I don't think it's a sequel or anything. I don't think it has any connecting movies, but it's a funny, funny movie, and it's like a horror movie that I'd still love to watch. And that's it. So, another oldie but a goodie, and I don't know, do all of these have something to do with each other? No. So this is also involving a, like, circus, or I guess a fair, really. They both have, like, Ferris wheels in the thing, and yeah, they both have Ferris wheels. Okay, weird. But anyways, this is Jack the Reaper, and I remember watching this, I got it for a sleepover, and we were watching it, and we were just so scared we couldn't even finish it. And I was like, okay, can't finish it. And it was in the middle of the night, and we were in my room, and I was like, oh my god, and we were just like terrified. Obviously because, death and like, yeah, can't see its face, so everything looks like that. And I'm literally gonna give myself nightmares before bed because it's like super late out. If you can tell, because, my window. I'm still trying to figure out new shades, but haven't got that far. But anyways, yeah. This one, they're all like on a bus or something, and like, it's kind of a confusing movie. You really have to pay attention to detail. I really like details in movies. But this one can get borderline confusing, especially the end. But still a really good thriller. Like, I guess it's not really scary, but still kind of like that. Still a really good movie though. And then the last one in my top 5. This is like a newer movie. I watched this with my parents, and I just kind of liked it. Because, like, the concept of, like, consciences and, like, having a good and bad, and it has Ryan Reynolds in it. I mean, Deadpool's cool, so there's that. And it's not really that scary, but it's a good, like, thriller and, like, horror movie type of thing. So yeah, if you're, like, scared of gore, I guess it's kind of scary, but it's not that gory, I don't think. Well, not to me anyways. But, yeah. It it's like, okay, so this guy, he's like a perfect guy, whatever, but he has to take medication, obviously, and he finds this girl, and he loves her, but then she accidentally dies, and he like hides her body in his house. And the cat is like the devil, and the dog is like, you know, an angel or whatever. And yeah, it was so cool, like how going through everything, and then him talking to the therapist at the end, like, it kind of makes sense, but then, like, you really have to, again, like, look at everything in, like, a, kind of like a psychological, like, perspective. I took a, one of those classes in high school. I can't remember what it was. I fell asleep during most of it. The teacher was amazing. I just suck as a student. But yeah, I really like this movie. Again, not that scary. None of these are really that scary, but I'm not really scared of a lot. But yeah. So these are my top 5 horror movies that I have currently in my house. Obviously, there are so many more that I have, but these ones, I just chose these because they weren't in the sequel. And I mean, I guess they all kind of have something to do with each other. I don't know. But anyways, these are all of my top 5s. For this category anyways, I might do another video where I'm doing like top 5 like comedies or something like that. I really mostly just have horror movies. So, I don't know what I'll do. But anyways, make sure to comment down below if you've seen any of these. What's your favorite movie genre? Because mine is obviously horror movies. I love scary stuff. I'm just like, I'm one of those people. I know it's stupid and weird, but I mean, to each their own. Everyone likes their own thing. And that just happens to be something that I like. And with all that being said, make sure to give this video a like if you liked it. Make sure to subscribe if you like me. And if you really like me, make sure to check out my TikTok, my Twitter, my Instagram, all my stuff down below. And I think with all that being said, thanks for stopping by. I love you.